You said the other night, even after against the Alcorn State game, you said, I just like to play basketball, but this had to have been a really fun game in which to play because you were up against an elite level big man, and the game got going up and down. The crowd got into it. You had to have had fun tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real good game. Like I said before, like anytime you used to go against a big name player like Vincent, you're definitely up for the challenge. And after those first two games, me and Etwan especially probably didn't get to play as much as we probably wanted to, but we understood the situation. But this night, we had to play and we were ready.
He, had a really nice second half, but you got much the better of the deal in the first half. What was working for you, and why were you able to take it at them so well?
I think one of the biggest things was just keeping them moving. Screening, going to different areas. And the guards, really finding me down low if it was outside too. So this is just a combination of both. Just keep moving in the offense and just find the openings from there.
Etwan, Juwan kind of, along with some of the non-starters, kind of carried you in the first half, and you really got involved in the second half. Was you getting so much more involved offensively maybe a byproduct of how successful he was in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, he came out knocking shots down right away, I was fine. I mean, he's carrying the team on offensive end, and I wasn't really worried about getting to the groove, as long as we would stand to the game and playing well.
I just meant, because of the success he had in the first half, did that maybe create some things in the second half for you?
Yeah, I mean, some of the times in the first half they wasn't, they was keeping the 1-on-1 and he was scoring, and you right in the second half they was covering down and doubling, and it did open up a little bit.
Tyrone, they run out to a 14-5 lead, and then you, DJ, and John Hart and Kelsey kind of gave that boost that I think Coach Painter has talked about. Different, he says different nights it might be different guys off the bench, but how important was the contribution of not just you, but Hart, Bird, Kelsey to getting back in the game after they ran out to that lead?
I thought it was very important. We just had to stay focused on the sideline, just be ready to go in and take over the role that people wasn't, doing and stuff. So I just thought it was really important for us to stay focused and be ready to come in.
Well, can you talk about the preparations that you made throughout the course of the summer, the time spent in Vegas, just working on your game, your outside shot?
Pretty much every day, I try to spend some time on my game. Usually it happens in the morning. I like to be by myself. Have somebody rebound for me, and just put up shots really. And playing USA basketball this summer, it just really helped me, from a confidence standpoint. Anytime you get to go against, professionals, I mean, it can only do nothing but help you really. And I just took from a lot of things from them. Mostly from like talking and just preparing, how they prepare for the games and things like that.
In terms of where you are from the start of the summer to now, how comfortable are you taking those outside shots?
I'm very comfortable. Like I said, those first few games, when my shot really wasn't falling, but I really tried not to get down on it just because I knew how much time I had prepared, to really just put in on my shot, and I just knew it was a matter of time for, shots to fall for me.
Each one, sometimes, even with a non-conference schedule, you really don't know, as much about the opponents as say when you get into the Big Ten. But this team was a good test for you guys. Would you agree? Games like this, can be very helpful because they pushed you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely a good team. I mean, they had size inside, a good big man, and the guards was pretty good. They was fast and they can shoot, things like that. So it was definitely a good test for us, and it's gonna help us prepare for the teams down the road.
Each one, this actually might be the same question, I'll just phrase it a little differently though. After the first two games were what they were, how important at this stage of the season was it for you guys to struggle a little bit, actually have to fight for a win instead of just kind of rolling over people?
I mean, it's definitely good playing, good teams. That was a good test for us tonight, to see where we was, and we came up, showed up, and played well. And, well, we played okay. I didn't say well. We played okay. We got a lot of room for improvement, and it was just a good test.
Juwan, would you say you guys played okay, not well, kind of like what Etwan just said?
Oh yeah, definitely. We still, did some things, from a scouting standpoint that we were supposed to do that we probably didn't do as well, especially in the first half. But overall, that it happens, but we try not to let it happen because that's what we prepare for all week. But overall, I think, like Etwan said, we did all right.
Juwan, you and Etwan are going to be the go-to guys, but you got 31 points off your bench. They only got 4. Just could you talk about the importance of Tyrone and John, DJ, Kelsey, how valuable they were in getting you back from that early deficit?
I mean, they're really important for us, especially this game. They're going to be really important for us the whole year, just because it might not be myself or Etwan's night, and we're going to need that spark, coming off the bench or just from anywhere really. But we're definitely going to need that, the bench to be on their A game, to compete with the teams in the Big Ten, because a lot of teams have really good benches in the Big Ten.
Juwan, you wouldn't seem like you'd have anything to prove, but it seemed like you played that way, at least in the first half. You personally, what was just kind of your mindset coming in to the game tonight when you knew you had that matchup?
Pretty much just to be aggressive, and I knew it was coming in. I knew I had to be on top of my game. And he's a good player, so I just had to be ready to play.
Well, can you talk about some of the coming out of the timeouts? There were a couple times when Matt called timeouts, and you guys came out and started going on a little bit of a run. There's one in particular that you scored on. Can you talk about what's said in those timeouts to kind of halt those open runs?
You said what?
Can you just talk about what was said in those timeouts when Oakland was going on those runs? What did Coach tell you?
He just talked a lot about we got to keep the intensity up. Guys that come off the bench from timeout, they should be fresher, be ready to play harder. So we just had to play harder coming out.
Each one, think back to when you were a freshman and JJ was a freshman, and obviously he had range on his jumper, but probably not three-point range. How much have you seen him progress in his three-point shot? Where I don't know about you, his three-point shooting looks pretty darn good to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. We put a lot of time into it to the summer. We messed with him because over Jimmy would take some. And we're like, man, you're not gonna shoot that in the game. But now he's capable of doing it. He had 2 on him today, and it looked good. I'm like, every time he shot one, I'm like, okay, that's money right there. So, it's definitely big because the big man got to come out and guard him.
But you've seen how much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One more question.
But you've seen how much work that Juwan has put in specifically on his three-point shooting, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Summertime, and you get up in the morning before class, go shoot. And, he put a lot of work into it.
Okay, thank you.